Good day, everybody. And once again, we're back together. All right, and this time we are going to be looking at the grade 11 technical maths exemplar. All right, so please, if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you are part of this family. All right, so we're going to get right into it. Okay, and our very first question, this is on analytical geometry. Let's see what we have. They say to us in the diagram below, we've got triangle ABC, which has vertices A, which is -6 and 4, B, which is 2 and 2, and C, which is -2 and -3. Right, this is in the Cartesian plane. They say the plane of the angle of inclination of BC is theta. Right, now let's look at the respective questions that are given to us there. They say determine the gradient of AB. All right, so this is the easier part of analytical geometry. So the gradient of AB, we know that we're going to say change in y minus divided by the change in x. So I'll say YA minus YB divided by XA minus XB. Now, please remember that you need to make sure that the order in terms of the change in y is the same as the order in terms of the change in x. All right, now let's say YA, that's 4, minus 2 YB. The x value at A is -6 minus the x value at B is +2. In this case, so that's minus a +2. So what do we get? That's 4 minus 2, which gives us a 2 there. And we've got -6 minus 2, that will give us -8. So the long and short is that the gradient will be -1/4. So the gradient of AB would be -1/4. All right, and nothing wrong if you decided to start with B. So you would have said 2 minus 4, and you'd say 2 minus a -6, and you'd still end up with -1/4. So we know the gradient there is -1/4. All right, now let's go to the next question. They say, determine the coordinates of D, the midpoint of AC. Right. Now, if you look at that line AC there, okay, something that I noted about that line is that it looks like it is a vertical line, right? But how do I know it's a vertical line? How can I actually confirm that? Well, the x value at C is exactly the same as the x value at A, all right? So that means that in this case, whatever midpoint that it has, it would have the same x value, right? So I already know what the x value is here. That would be -6. So this is the point D. Now what I need to find out is what the y value is, okay? So we know that when we take the midpoint, so D would have the coordinates. If you took, that would have been XA plus XC, x value at C, divided by 2, but the same is true YA plus YC divided by 2. And you'll notice in this case that you'll get -6. So XA, that's -6 divided by 2, which gives you -6. Okay, and what about the Y? YA is 4. YC is -2 divided by 2. And so what you get for the value, the coordinates of D, in this case would be, as I said, -6, as well as 4 minus 2 is 2, divided by 2, that gives us 1. So that point there, D, is -6 and 1. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to remove that so that I make a bit of space available. Right, so next question. So they say to us, determine the equation of the straight line, right? That the straight line BD in the form y is equals to mx plus c. So we want to know, if we were to put a line there, right? Remember, this is -6 and 1. So if we were to connect the 2 points B and D, what would be that straight line there? All right, so firstly, what we need to find out is the gradient. So let's find out what is the gradient of BD. So that's MBD. That's going to be YB minus YD divided by XB minus XD. All right, so YB, that's going to be 2 minus YD, we said that's 1, divided by XB is 2 minus XD, which is negative 6. And again, ladies and gents, 2 minus 1 would give me, 2 minus 1 would give me 1. Okay, and 2 minus a negative 6. So that's 2 plus 6, which would give us 8. So that gives us 1 over 8. Right, and it does look like a positive gradient. So I know that the gradient is 1 over 8. But we're still not done in this case, so we need to find out. So we know the equation will be y is equals to 1 over 8 x plus c. But how do we now get the c value? We are going to substitute one of the points. I'm going to take the point B, which is 2 and 2. So when x is 2, y is 2. So I'm going to substitute that there, plus c. And let's find out what the c value is. All right, so that's going to be 2 over 2. Sorry, that was 1 over 8 rather, not 1 over 2. So 1 over 8 multiplied by 2, okay? So that will be 1 over 4. So 2 minus 1 over 4 in this case will give us 1.75. Okay, right. What would be that value in? So that's 2 minus 1 over 4. And that gives us 7 over 4. All right, so the equation is y is equal to 1 over 8 x plus 7 over 4. So that's the equation right there. Y is equals to 1 over 8 x plus 7 over 4. All right, and as we continue, right, as we go to the next point, and nothing wrong if you decided to substitute the point D, you would actually end up with the same answer as well. Okay, right, now they say to us, determine the distance between points B and C. Right, so we're going to use our distance formula. Now we're looking for distance BC. And we know in terms of our distance formula, we're going to take x value at B minus x value at C, all squared, y value at B minus y value at C, again, all squared. So let's substitute that there and find out what that value is. So this is going to be, that's B, which is 2 minus a negative 6. So 2 minus minus 6 gives us 2 plus 6 squared, plus we've got 2 again, y value at B is 2, minus, okay, negative 2, so that's 2 minus negative 2, which is plus 2, and that's squared. All right, so we've got, in that case, we've got 2 plus 6, which is 8, squared, that's 64, plus 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 squared is 16. And so that looks like it is going to be the square root of 80. Okay, right, units. So I know that the distance BC is simply square root of 80. Very important, ladies and gents, just for us to note that when we're dealing with distance, of course, that is a, we have to express it in units. Right, now let's go to the next point. They say determine the size of theta. So we're looking for that angle of elevation there, okay, the angle theta. Now, what do we know? We already have found the gradient. Did we find the gradient of BC? No. No, we didn't find the gradient. We found the gradient of BD. Right, so we need to find the gradient of BC. So I'm going to do that. Okay, let's remove this. Okay, so the gradient of BC, right, we already know what to do. Change in y over change in x. So this is going to be 2 minus a negative 2. Okay. So that's yb minus yc divided by xb minus xc. Right, so that's 2 minus a negative 2, that's the change in y. That's 2 minus a negative 2 divided by x value at b is 2 minus a negative 6. Right, and what do we get there? We've got 4 at the top divided by 8, so that's 4 over 8, which gives us 1 over 2. So the gradient is 1 over 2. And so remember that the tan of angle theta is equal to the gradient of BC. Okay, so to get theta, that will be the arctan of the value of the gradient, and we found that gradient to be 1 over 2. So that's the arctan of 1 over 2. And please, ladies and gents, just make sure that you try to evaluate those with me, so that if I make a mistake, you can also note that just in case. So that's 26.5, okay, let's say 26.57 degrees. So that's the angle theta, okay, that is equal to 26.57 degrees. Okay, right. Right, let's go for it. And they say, hence, calculate the size of angle C. So there's angle C over there. All right. Now, they said to us, hence, right? So which means that we can use the previous result to determine what is next. Now, what I'm going to do is, I see that I've got a triangle over here. Okay. So I'm going to use this triangle over here, right? So if I look at this, I know I've got angle theta. It would be equal to this angle over here. But I also have a 90-degree angle over there. Now remember, I said to you that AC is actually a vertical line. And we know that the x-axis are a horizontal line. So obviously they will then make an angle of 90 degrees with each other, right? So I can use that triangle over there. All right, I can use that triangle, all right, to then determine what the size of angle C is, right? Now, I don't know what I'll call that point there. If you don't mind, I'll just give it a name. Let's say that is point E, okay? Right, so I'm going to say in triangle E, let's call that point F, right? Let's say in triangle EFC, I know that firstly angle F would be equal to theta, that's 26.57. All right, that is, they are vertically opposite angles, right? And then what do I also note there? I know that the angle E is 90 degrees, equal to 90 degrees, okay? Right, it is perpendicular to the x-axis. And so angle E plus F plus C would be equal to 180. So I'm going to say, all right, I'm just going to scramble for some space there. Okay, so I'm going to say, well, angle E plus F plus angle C is equal to 180. That's the interior angles on a triangle. And so in this case, I know that angle C, I'm not going to waste time, ladies and gents, would be 180 minus that 90 minus the 26.57. Okay, and what does that give us? That's 90 minus 26.57. Okay, and that gives us 63.43. Okay, right, so that is how we're going to calculate that. That's 63.43 degrees. All right, please keep that in mind. That is why they said hence, because we've already found that angle over there. All right, now let's go to the next point. The next question says, determine the equation of the straight line which passes through D and is parallel to AB. Right. So a straight line which is parallel to AB, right? We've already found the gradient of AB. We said that was -1/4, right? That's the gradient that we actually calculated right at the beginning. Now, when lines are parallel, we know that their gradients would be the same, right? So they said it passes through D, but in this case, it is parallel to AB. So I know the gradient of this line here would actually be -1/4. Okay, so now I'm going to say, well, it's going to be y is equal to 1/4x, -1/4x plus c. But now I'm going to substitute the points D, which is -6 and 1, in order for me to find out what is the value of c. So when x, -1/4, so when x is -6, y would be equal to 1. Okay, and so we can work that out. That's going to be 6/4, which is 3/2. If I take that to the other side, that's 1 minus 3/2. So c will be equal to 1 minus 3/2 will be equal to -1/2. Okay, right. So ladies and gents, the equation of this line would be y is equal to, and please work this out. Of course, I'm doing a bit of head maths here. I had 1 is equal to 3/2 plus c. Okay, and if I take that to the other side, I've got 1 minus 3/2, and that gives us -1/2, right? So c is equal to -1/2. Okay, right. So that means that the equation of this line would be y is equal to -1/4x minus 1/2. And that, ladies and gents, is how the cookie crumbles. I hope that you were able to follow for this question, right? And please, if you need to ask any questions, you're more than welcome to go into the comment section, right? But otherwise, I will see you guys again when we do the next question, which is question 2. I'll see you guys next time. Sharp, sharp.